Hello, hello. We had another X-class solar flare yesterday, and this is a continuation of some of the messages that have come in before and what we are already experiencing and feeling. And so, definitely, again, still more physical ascension symptoms, um, hearing a lot of head pressure, headache. uh, Feeling nauseous, ears ringing, affecting all parts of the body. So aches, womb space. Um, and the guides actually talked about lung centrifuge as well. So like that one's harder to describe. It almost feels like a burning sensation. Like there's like just high frequency light that's moving through the body and just like literally sizzling out that density and becoming more crystalline. And so there's a lot going on, just sending everybody love, and just to remind you, that we're in this together. We rise together. Um, I'm happy that you are here. And there are opportunities that are coming up. So we talked about like this pressure cooker, right? I mean, ooh, it is. It's like really feeling like it's squeezing all of the things out. And that has to do with balance as well. But there are opportunities that will come up. They call them like a little series of fires or triggers, where we can respond, overreact. So noticing how the energy shifts when you kind of center and allow and see how it plays out. So what's clearing out now? And in addition to recognizing the shadow, and we talked about integration before of shadow, but also knowing that there might be some energies that want to get you to play in the old field. We'll say it that way. Um, but just to remember that we are divine, right? And remember your truth. And the more that you remember and shift back to that, um, the more abundance that's able to flow in. That's coming from the guides. They wanted me to talk about abundance too. So they wanted to speak to this isn't for nothing, what we're going through. And there is, abundance connected to all of this. And it's interesting because as I was reflecting on just the ascension journey, I kept seeing this image of, I think her name is Chloe. You guys probably know there's this viral video from a while back of uh, this little girl in the back of a car being told that she's going to Disneyland and she's like super excited. And then they ask Chloe, the other sister, um, what she thinks. Is she super excited? And then her face is just kind of like, and that what I just did didn't do it justice as all or at all. But anyways, it's funny to think of that picture and just to see the shock in her face. Like, I'm not sure if I trust that this is going to be a fun and exciting experience. We have the things, the challenging parts and feeling all the feels, but there's also this fun stuff that you guys are experiencing too, like where you're just floating, right? And feeling good and feeling like, wow, I just shifted and I'm feeling light, moving through dimensions, seeing vibration ripples, um, the colors, the geometries, and things are making sense and very clear. And then it feels like you drop back somehow, right? And so they talked about grounding. So grounding being a big part of the process. So they kind of showed like kind of floating, and then okay, we need to like ground you now, and this is all for part of the purpose and the design. So to play the role that we do to allow time for the physical body to breathe, systems cool down is how you can think of it. Like when it's like, ooh, I just went through a lot of rapid changes really fast. I need a little bit of a cool down. Okay. So pole shift is coming through. We talked about the volcanic um, eruptions and that being metaphorical, but also like physically, there are like legit um, volcanoes erupting. And so there is this release of energy, this massive, massive release of energy to try to balance everything out again. So they talked about that. Really, this change, the pole shift, this it's not, it's rapid, but it's not overnight. We are going through this, as a process so we can adapt and evolve. But I'm going to look at my notes real quickly for what they said about this. Okay. So they kept talking about the x axis, and they talked about sort of how it can create a wobble effect, right? So that can happen on the earth that we're seeing, and it can also happen internally. So it's like this massive wave of energy hits you, and it disorients you a little bit. It brings up a lot of emotions. And so they said, from an energetic perspective, this serves and acts like the Earth's acupuncture points. So places where excess pressure, suppressed energy, and even ancient trauma can be released to maintain equilibrium. So we can look at it to the x-axis is the horizontal band, or even the masculine energies, logical energies. So there's something that's definitely being realigned there. In these eruptions that they talk about, so of course we know our own emotions that are coming to the surface, or even some that we're helping the collective. But they talked about that this can happen when an eruption can happen when the grid is overloaded, incoherent, or misaligned. So bringing all of that back into alignment, back into balance, back into harmony. Um, and then they just talked about releasing tension. Okay. So I wanted to share that. And, again, these are quick oscillations. So you may rapidly shift between all of these things. And that's completely normal. Okay. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that they wanted to share. Fourth dimension. So the Earth moving into the fourth dimension. They just said soon. Soon can be very relative in the spirit world. But we are moving in and out of dimensions ourselves, frequently. And so they're talking about the actual Earth. So more grid work will be needed, more grid work on the Earth coming up. Okay, I'm going to tune in. Anything else for the solstice? Okay. Here's what's coming through. This is actually coming through from Mantis energy. A lot of light and a lot of sound is rippling through right now. And they're talking about the inner wiring just being re-engineered. So you're feeling that, the shifts of that. You are doing a great job. You are needed. I keep hearing this over and over. We need you. We need you. We need you. And there's this sort of call to make noise in a very loving yet powerful way, just to share the ancient wisdom and knowledge that is coming through, so that can be made available to the collective who is in the process of better uh, receiving the blueprint of a new way and being able to choose that. So making this information available will be part of the call. And I'm hearing you are singing in alignment. And you are singing in alignment to the degree that you're able to at this moment, at the space-time moment. This has been a large part of the Earth School curriculum, how to move, release, heal, shift the Akashic records. And they're saying before going to sleep, I'm just being shown like you're about to go to sleep, asking the guardian gatekeepers to share with you a piece of our collective history that is being reimagined, rebirthed. So there's something in there they're showing me within the contents of its message will be a key. And that is something that they want you to get really, really excited about. Okay. And then they're showing me kind of like a resting period, a stillness, and a celebration. They're showing me like a wave of light. So I don't, again, this is like from our lens and perception and understanding of linear time, this is a little bit out there, but they want you to know that it is to be expected and that we are at a grand juncture and that we are coming home. And now I'm getting the Pleiadians coming forward. Andromedans too. Okay. They want me to receive a transmission. Okay, so energy coming through will expand our field of knowledge. Okay. And bring these energies will restore the divine feminine. So it's like ripping through to restore its architecture. They wish for you to know that each of you is loved, honored, and respected. Yeah, it's time to tell the truth of who you are. It is time to tell the truth of who you are. We love you so, so much. Much love.